Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Adopt Me update video. Today's update seems small compared to last week, but potentially pretty big. It is the racetrack house, and been pretty interesting to see the stuff they leaked about it, and had a chance to do a little bit of it earlier on the Adopt Me live stream with some of the staff. But I'll check it out now and tell you what I think about it and kind of give a deep dive into some of the stuff that I've been looking at. So let's get going. Let's buy it first. So let's see, where is it in here? It's easy to go right by it sometimes. Here we go. Racetrack house, a reasonable 2,200 bucks for what it is. They could have easily made it premium, but I think they want to get it into people's hands and see what people can do. And if they made it premium, it just wouldn't. Not as many people would get it. So let's see, where did it go? Oh, is this it? It's a big out. Took a couple of seconds to render. So there it is. Pretty cool outside. Let's go inside. The first thing, when they first leaked the teaser for this last weekend, I looked at it and said, that looks like an insane amount of space to build anything but a racetrack. I was already thinking I would just love to build a giant, castle here. When you look at the other open maps or open houses, sandbox houses, like the island house or the mountain house, they're kind of, they're not just a big open space. In the mountain house, you have a bridge and then an elevator before you get to the big open space. In the island house, you have all this stuff. Like immediately you have a water in front of you. You got to cross a little bridge, and there's no really big open space. But look at this. I mean, there's just so much here. You could just build a giant house, a real mansion, or you can do anything. So I imagine, I'll probably be using this map for stuff other than a track. But I am kind of interested in some of this track mechanics. Let's see what kind of stuff you can get rid of here. I would imagine you could get rid of these trees. Let's see if it'll let us. Not that, if you needed some extra space. Yep. So there you go. You could easily, delete those trees. I'm not sure if these ones are. Yep, those ones are deletable too. So you can just go on a full deforestation here and really get more. But, the trees are nice. So unless you have an absolute need to really like raise the land and get every little bit out of it you can. There's rocks too. Nope, the rocks are permanent. So um, anyway, so that's that. So they did say that there were some pre-configured tracks here. So let's go into stuff here. This will probably be under the new and should be under racetrack. So here's pre-built racetracks. And so we can just lay a simple one first. So there it is. I imagine you can rotate it if you saw fit. Yep. So you could put the start. Oh, you got to move it around and put the start closer to the entrance if you wanted to. So the start up here has two little buttons. So start race and return vehicles. So these buttons can be done by anybody in your family. So that's important. Is that if you are gonna have other people doing and managing the race for you, they have to be a member of your family. But once you hit this start race button, it sends out a thing that says, and I guess it doesn't do it to people here, but or because nobody else is in here. But it says, "Hey, do you want to join the race?" And it automatically teleports to them here. Now, importantly, even though it teleports you here from anywhere else in the house, not out in the main area, but you have to actually be in the house. But it'll teleport here, and you still have to choose your go karts. Once you do that, you get to pick from some basic colors. They don't have the new color wheel in here, which I guess is understandable. And then a countdown will appear here and say 10, like 10. I think it counts down from 10. It doesn't appear that it stops you from going forward before that. So, if you were really trying to have a race, it doesn't prevent anybody from moving while the countdown is going. And so that could be a problem if you wanted to have a good race. But, once going, it controls pretty well. the go-kart. It's, I don't know how it compares in speed to the other things, but you know, it goes right around, and you can get stuck pretty easily. It happened to me on live stream earlier, where I got my vehicle up on one of these side things, and it was just really hard to dislodge from there. So that can be a problem. And when there's a lot of people on the track, it can get pretty chaotic. And here's what I meant about, those rocks being permanent. You're gonna take that into consideration when you build, because but otherwise, it's not a bad thing to have some obstructions in there. I imagine people are going to get fancy with some of the track stuff, putting obstacles and other things to make it a little more challenging. Some of the other mechanics thought about was, so if you're actually trying to make this a race, and you don't want people cheating, like you obviously don't want somebody to, start the race. Here, I'll do it. Start the race, jump out, jump across here, and if this was a longer race, jump back on the course. The good thing is they can't respawn their go kart here. So obviously, if you see someone show up at the end and they don't have their go kart, then you say, well, you know, you don't you don't win if you show up at the end without your go kart, because obviously you ditched that somewhere along the way, and it's probable that you ditched it and it was and you were cheating or something. So that's a good thing, is that people can't really. I wonder if this brings it back. Yeah, there it goes. So that'll bring that vehicle back. So that's a good thing to know, that people can only spawn the go kart at the beginning, and likewise they can't spawn the go kart and then suddenly decide, oh, I'm going to change my vehicle to something super fast. I don't even know what fast vehicles are out here. A rocket race car or something. If you do that, you lose your go kart. So if you show up at the end in this rocket race car, and people are going to know you cheated. So that's helpful. I mean, the problem of the starting line, you could potentially say, okay, I'm going to put up the good old friend, the glass barrier or something. So you put that up there, and you make it super big, move it right here, and then as a race organizer, you say, and you're up here and you're running the race. I got stuck on the track in the grandstand. Let me see if my tiger will help me get out of here. Oh, maybe I just select. That's the great thing about builder tools. When you select something that you're in, it just, well, that's a good and a bad thing. It becomes transparent because you fall through floors a lot like that. But yeah, you could say, watch the countdown here, and when it gets to 1, boom. Now you got to make sure that when you do that, you unselect it, because I don't think when you're moving stuff, until you deselect the object, it doesn't appear for other people. It still appears as where it was. So you could practice that a little bit, but that would be a way of kind of creating a barrier that would force everybody to start. But then you're gonna have this massive traffic jam too, of people up against the barrier trying to get through. It's going to take a little bit of refining to figure out how to actually make a real race out of this. So anyway, that's the basic track. Well, let's go over here and take a look at. Oh, why don't we just sell this? I don't have a. So then, if you actually want to make a full track, then you can go back to the racetrack stuff and get into your custom racetracks. And this is where you have, you can start with a long or short track, I guess, based on how many cars, starting line based on how many cars you want. This is where you can, this is where you can start your race anywhere, and you could probably even put this in a building. And then from here, you can start to add pieces. You got a long straight over here. These tend to line up pretty well. I'm going to say that, and then you can't get the rail line up. I mean, the good thing is you've got that kind of these rails to. There you go. I mean, and these rails, I think, keep it also so that you can't really get your go kart off the track. So you couldn't, you know, try to make a shortcut by going over here. Now, if somebody builds a ramp, potentially you could, but if you only use the pre-built track stuff, I think it keeps you on there pretty well. So there's nobody somewhere and could get off here, and then even if you did manage to somehow get off the track, getting back on is going to be big trouble. So it's designed, I think, in a pretty good way to keep people on there. If you want to actually have a competitive race, if you're going to be like creating channel content, like maybe I might, and say, hey, I'm going to give away a neon or something to the winner, and you want to make sure people are, hey, I got a visitor. That's okay. You can come see what I'm doing. You want to make sure people are being, on the up and up about things. Now, you could potentially say, let's see, if you wanted to get fancy, you could do some stuff, but then you're gonna open up the possibility that people are going to get off your course. So let's say we put a wedge there. So now if we have this go kart, we've made ourselves a ramp. Am I actually in the air or am I on the grass? Let's drive back here and see how this looks like. Okay, it's hard to tell because the grass is, you know, it almost looks like you're floating on there. But anyway, yeah. So people will be tempted, I think, to build some stuff into there, but you're gonna have to really test this out a lot to make sure it doesn't create potential issues because you don't want people also to fly off, and if they do get off and not be able to get back on, they're gonna be like, "Oh, your course stinks, buddy." So there's pieces in here. You can create some pretty wild stuff. Jesse and Matt on the stream earlier were creating um, things with like gaps with fire and big, just big turns, spiraling. The whole thing looked like a Salvador Dali painting. It was like drooping tracks everywhere, and but you have curved stuff, and you can do curved bank stuff too. So when you start to get to these um, supports here, which come in very big, but of course you can resize those. You can start to make the curved bank. So in my mind, I'm thinking Mario Kart, where I'm creating like two different, like where a split, and one way is more dangerous but potentially faster if you get it right, and one way is easier but slower, and all kinds of things like this. But you're going to want to make sure you don't overdo it to make it that people are going to have the racetracks, their go karts flying off the racetrack, because there is no like auto respawn on the track like there is in Mario Kart. So let's see what else we got here. There are zooms, little boosters, uh, and they're pretty. They're it's a lot like F Zero or whatever. You hit these boosters and you go. Um, Let me see. I'll try one. Oh, because I'm in the here. Yeah. All right. So let's hit this booster, and we are off. Oh. So yeah, you can put those around. Like I said, you can make it. You can make it so it's not just a matter of who can be at first of the line. You can add some strategy on there as far as hitting the boosts and making some ramps and alternate courses in there. Let's see what else there are things we are in the furniture area or so there's mostly just starting line, track, boosts, and supports. To I don't even know if you actually need the supports. It probably just makes it look a little more legit that you don't have the track floating in midair, but I don't think you actually need those. Let's see. There were some also exterior furniture stuff. This is stuff you can put on the track. Looks like fence. So if you are tire walls to create some obstacles, or if you want to have people stop at the end. Floodlights. Oh, okay, this is cool. Oh man, you're gonna be able to use these a lot in. Oh, these are nice little lights. I can already think of places I might want to use this elsewhere. That's the great thing about this kind of stuff is that you never know what furniture from a update you're going to want to use somewhere else. So the scaffolding again, if yeah, you got this is probably for I think creating the stands because I remember seeing in the update that they had grandstands for people to watch. Okay, here's a cool floodlight. You know, if you're gonna make an outdoor sports area too, these would be kind of cool things to have. Here they are. Yeah, the bleachers. So you know, you probably put the bleachers up on a put the bleachers up on here or something. I don't know. The sky's the limit. Let's see. And then they had some interior furniture, of course, if you want to have your own little race car themed bedroom, sports car bed. I mean, every kid dreamed of these, having one of these when you were young. I saw somebody on the Discord that actually made one of these from scratch using shapes. Did a pretty good job and it looked pretty much as good as this, if not better. But now you can just easily create your own. Showers, pet bed. That's pretty cute. Water bowl, food bowls. Oh, what is this table? Oh, that's pretty cool. Tiger light. Thought that looked like a golf bag for a second. I'm not even sure what this is. What does it say down here? Race car fridge. Oh, okay. This looks like, you know, this looks like a leg for a Voltron or something. But so lots of furniture in there, lots of outdoor stuff for you to make your own racetrack. Matt did say that they are going to do a live stream Tuesday at 4 p.m. I believe British Standard Time. So that is typically the live stream time and update time. So it'll be the typical time that the live streams and updates go live for you. So if you have the time over this weekend to make a race course, they'll be giving away, I believe they said fly ride anteaters. So there's a chance to get hands on one of the cool pets from the jungle theme going on right now. Anyway, I'm gonna, start to think about maybe what I want to do. I have some ideas of, you could even, if you wanted to go themed or something like, I don't know, maybe you wanted to make a space, like I said, Mario Kart theme or something or Mario Kart style course where you're driving through different areas. You could really enclose your space here. You could build like, you could put walls on either side. So let's see. What? Oh my god. What is going on? Oh, holy cow. Sometimes furniture does not like being that big. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. That'll probably get us a little better. So yeah, if you decided you wanted to do that, then again, oh, we want to rotate this. Uh, and then let's just move this over like that, like just playing around a little bit here. So you could really enclose your thing. Then you could put some lights up there that look like stars or something. I don't know how if that would even work, but yeah. I mean, so you can make it really so that you're driving through like an area. Maybe the influencer lights would be better than that. Maybe what's this one? No, that one's not the one. I was thinking that there's one. I thought they had like bulbs, just random bulbs in. But yeah, you could enclose your entire track and make underwater theme where you use like clear stuff and have you know plants all around or something. So that would be another way of keeping people from going too far off the track. But anyway, there's just endless possibilities. This is a lot cooler than I thought it would be. I think they're really putting a lot into this to make people's houses more of an experience, and not just a place people come to go sleep and grind their pets. So I am interested to see what other people do about it with this kind of thing. I'm interested to see what I can do with this, and whatever I do, you can be sure that I'll post it. But for now, I hate to break it to these people, but I think I'm going to use the good old select all furniture, which I did this on a big house the other day. This can really lag your computer if you have hundreds of stuff. And sell. Dom, dom, dom. Game over. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful for you if you were thinking about buying the house and not sure if it was worth it or not. But I will talk to you soon. Have a good week.